The idea started on a late Friday evening. It was one of those nights where exhaustion from daily life made everything feel heavier. Edna, Paul, Wendy, and Fred sat in a cramped cafe, stirring their coffees absent-mindedly, longing for an escape. "We need a break," Edna finally sighed. "A proper one." Paul grinned. "Let's go somewhere far, somewhere quiet." Wendy leaned forward. "What if we just drive? Find a place in the countryside. No itinerary, no stress. Just us and the open road." Fred tapped his fingers on the table, considering. "We leave at dawn." No one argued. The next morning, the sun had barely risen when they piled into Edna's old car, tossing bags into the trunk and stretching their limbs after days of sitting at desks. The city roads slowly gave way to open highways, then winding country roads lined with towering trees. The car was filled with laughter, with music that skipped between nostalgic hits and indie songs none of them had heard before. At some point, the quiet of the countryside wrapped around them, broken only by the rolling hills and the occasional birdsong. They stopped at roadside diners, ate pancakes drowning in syrup, and made small talk with locals who seemed amused by their excitement. Somewhere past noon, they found a small meadow, a golden field stretching endlessly beneath a wide, blue sky. "Let's stop here," Wendy said, already kicking off her shoes. They laid out blankets, the scent of earth and wildflowers filling the air. Fred pulled out a book but never really read it. Paul stared up at the sky, hands behind his head, breathing deeply. Edna hummed along to the music playing on her phone, while Wendy pulled out her camera, capturing the moment none of them wanted to forget. It was peace, the kind they had all needed but hadn't realized until now. Evening arrived with the glow of fireflies and the distant hum of crickets. They built a small fire, passing around marshmallows, exchanging stories they had never told before. The kind of stories that only come out when there's nothing but the night sky and trusted friends to listen. "I think I needed this more than I thought," Edna admitted, staring at the flames. Paul smiled. "We all did." And as the stars stretched across the sky, the four of them, tired, healed, and content, realized something. Escapes weren't always about running. Sometimes they were about remembering where you belonged. As the fire flickered and the night stretched on, Fred glanced at the horizon. "We should find a spot to watch the sunrise," he said. Paul smirked. "You mean stay up all night?" Wendy stood, brushing dirt off her jeans. "Why not? Let's go exploring." With flashlights and laughter guiding them, they wandered past the meadow, stumbling upon an old hiking trail. One that hadn't been used in years, judging by the overgrown path. They followed it, breathing in the crisp night air, the silence of the countryside wrapping around them like a warm embrace. And then, they found it. A small wooden bridge stretched over a stream, half hidden by trees. The water reflected the moon, shimmering like liquid silver. Nay, it was breathtaking. No words were needed. They sat on the bridge, legs dangling over the edge, listening to the gentle flow of the stream. Edna sighed, looking up at the sky. "I didn't know how much I needed this." Fred nodded. "Sometimes you don't realize you were carrying the weight of everything until you finally set it down." As dawn painted the sky in soft pinks and golds, they knew this moment, this forgotten trail, this quiet sunrise, would stay with them forever. Because some journeys aren't just about the places you go, but the parts of yourself you rediscover along the way. The drive back to the city felt different. The roads were the same, the skyline still stretched ahead. But something inside them had shifted. Wendy scrolled through the photos she had taken, the meadow bathed in golden light, the hidden sanctuary standing silently among the trees, the firelit smiles that felt warmer than any city glow. Edna sighed. "Do we really have to go back?" Paul smirked. "The world would probably notice if we disappeared forever." Fred, who had been staring out the window, finally spoke. Maybe the point was never to leave, just to remember that life exists beyond routine. They returned to their usual places, work, apartments, crowded streets, but nothing felt quite the same. The weight of daily life didn't feel as heavy. The city's noise didn't drown them the way it once had. And every now and then, when life became too much, one of them would send a simple message. Another trip? Because they knew now there would always be a road waiting, a forgotten sanctuary, a moment of peace ready to be found again.